Good morning, good morning. It's your girl. Man, today we're going to just talk. That's it. So stay tuned and let's talk. Alrighty now. Look, I just told you guys yesterday what Trump was doing. So he did it. He's taken over DC. He got every law enforcement agency and the National Guard. And remember, I just told you that military officials just pulled their people out of LA. They're like, look, we're not we're not set up for domestic law enforcement. But he doesn't care. He's calling in everybody. He's saying, like, again, fudging the numbers, saying this and that. It's like saying DC has high crime and all of this, right? Believe it or not, DC's crime is lower than the country's. that, that's the thing. But he doesn't care because he has an agenda and the people behind him have an agenda. He has his own personal, but they have theirs. Remember, Project 2025 is in full effect. Now, he's saying he needs help because of the crime, but I don't think so, you guys. You know what I really think? I think the reason why he's calling in so many people to protect DC, it's not really to protect DC, it's really to protect him. I believe that he knows something is about to happen. Look, they already found out that he cheated in the election. Elon ain't saying nothing. You see, he's standing back a little bit, right? But yeah, he helped him cheat in the election. And now he's trying to protect himself with our government. So we're flipping the bill for this too. And it's crazy because nobody's really saying anything. But I believe sometimes, you got to move in silence. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it is. Because you got to remember who his opponent was. She's like a criminal justice guru, is what I'm saying. Even though people got all of this stuff misconstrued, they try to run with it and then find out the numbers were wrong. It's like unbelievable because it seems as though we're rolling on untruths like crazy. Like now it's like, what's happening? In 2024, Cat Williams said, "Yo, you ain't seen nothing yet, because the truth shall set you free." And he was right because the truth just keeps bombing us. Boom, boom. And we learn something new every single day. But I believe he's really trying to protect himself because he knows what he did. Like Kat said, the liar knows the lie he told. See what I'm saying? And it's sad because now the people of DC are going to be harassed for what? And those people in the military, they really don't like that. They didn't like being in LA. And you know they're not going to like being in DC. They don't want. What if you're from DC? Now, these people are your friends, your cousins. You know what I'm saying? Your family, your daughter, your wife, anything. Your in-laws, your neighbors. And you out here trying to what? And they saying like, we're not comfortable with this because they're American citizens and so are we. I think he forgets that. He's just doing way too much. That right there is just ridiculous. And then he got these little talks like he's trying to talk to Putin about the war. And what's his name? Zelensky. Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. I really like the guy. And he's like, hey, yeah, I can't have this without me. So he got an invite. You know what I mean? So he can attend. But I wouldn't want Trump to talk for me if I had got the wrong item at a grocery store. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause everything he does benefits him. You know, just like he was asked about Diddy. You know what I mean? Yeah, Diddy still waiting to be uh uh well, he has been prosecuted already. He's waiting for his arraignment. Not arraignment. Damn, see, when you ain't been arrested or nothing like that, it's different. You don't really know the terminology. But he's waiting on his court date to be sentenced. There you go. The sentencing. Yeah. Okay. I got it. And so they're asking, would he ask Trump for a pardon? But he said no, even though reports have said he has. But Trump hasn't said he has. And you know, one thing about him, that's the only thing he's honest about: lying, cheating, stealing, and saying, "Hey, nah, he didn't ask me, but I probably think about it." But then he was like, he treated me pretty bad, so like his feelings is hurt, you know. And the way he's moving is just crazy. Like the Rose Garden is like probably so beautiful, what I'm saying? Well, it used to be. Now he made it a concrete jungle. I'm thinking, like, what is he gonna put out there? He trying to make it look like Mar-a-Lago. It's just so much, man. You can't even make this up. I was watching what do you call it? The videos and stuff of him when he went to Scotland. And nobody wanted to be around him. Everybody kept grabbing like their mouth and their nose. They're saying he smells terrible. And I'm thinking, like, you the president, bro. You could have you know what I'm saying? You could have a lavender pamper. What? You ain't got a lavender pamper, bro? And he kept talking about Sleepy Joe. I'd rather be Sleepy Joe than Shitty Trump. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Yo, ain't nobody ever said Joe smelled bad. Cause Joe slicked that head back. It's over, boy. Throwing the shades. But him, he just looked like the Blob anyway. You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know. It just seems like it's getting worse. But I really believe he's really just trying to protect himself without saying it. You know what I mean? And I hope it's true, because you know what? We need him out. We really do. Now, there's some things I have agreed on. You know what I'm saying? Surprisingly, but I wouldn't have voted for him for the things I do agree on. You know what I mean? I believe that since he lied to get in there, now he's just destroying everything. He's spending all our money frivolously. Did y'all see that parade? That weak ass parade he had? What it was like? He was like, it was millions of people, lots of people, lots of people. Nah, it was you, mama, and them, basically. It wasn't a lot of people out there. And then, I think about the people that follow him. And I'm saying, this is definitely like a cult like following, because no matter what is said, even when they're shown proof, they still follow him. And then all he has to do is say something, you know, on the radio or anything. And these guys, they react. That's why you see the shooters and everything thinking that shit is cool. Like, you trying to take out the black people? Please. We ain't like our ancestors. We a lot different, bro. We're a lot different. But the thing is, if you know you have that much power over a group of people that have nothing to lose, you should probably be quiet and not say anything. But that's what he's been running on, because, he really wants to be admired, you know? And at one point in time, people actually did admire him when he actually had The Apprentice, when he first started. And then it started getting nutty. And it's like, this guy should never be head of any company, let alone a whole country. And the people that's behind him, I hope they get prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, pass the law, all of them. even the Supreme Court justices that are being assholes too. You were supposed to uphold the law no matter what, but they it's like their hands are tied because anything he say they can do because people don't understand. Like, and Trump's when his first term was in, right? You know what he did? He went and put 160 judges in place. 160. That's a lot. So there's a lot of them that agree with him, no matter what, because he put him in that position. And then there's others like, hey, thank you, but no thank you. For real. It's just like, we think about on January 6th, those people, there's a lot of them that just stayed in jail because they was like, nah, because that was the dumbest thing I ever did in my whole entire life. Like I ruined my life following this dude thinking, he was, I don't know what I was thinking at the time, is what they're saying. But they was like, nah, I'm gonna just do my time. I was like, what? When I read that, I was just like, I thought that was kind of dope. Because when you make mistakes, you try to, rectify the situation. By getting out early, it didn't rectify the situation. And since some of the people he let out, they've been rearrested. Some of them were unalived. So it's just, this country is just getting wilder and wilder, and it makes no sense. A lot of this stuff makes no sense, and I'm hoping soon we can get this thing together because, whew. But now you guys really see why voting is very important. Because if it wasn't, why are they redistricting and doing so much just so they could curb the vote? Because your vote is priceless. We all should have learned a great lesson. The people who actually voted for him, you should have definitely learned a major lesson because he's just destroying everything. You'll see when you got to go and take care of your mama and take her out of that great place you got her in, unless y'all got that old slave money, is what I'm saying. You gonna have to take her out and she gonna have to come to your house. You know what I mean? And things like that. But, you know, it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. And entertainment news, you remember the young girl, not young girl, young woman, what's her name, Tyler from South Africa. I didn't know she was from South Africa, and then I started to read up on her, and then I seen she was. I was like, okay, um, they're a lot different black folk than we are. I'll say that. They use the word colored, and that's the racist, one of the racist ass words you could ever say. So don't ever say colored. White people, colored is not a good look, right? So anywho, her song, make me sweat or something, make me holler. You know the one where they pour the water on their back, beat crazy, dum dum. Yeah, that one. Anywho, she did great when she came to America, but then she started talking that colored stuff. Oh, we different and this, that, and the other. And I don't think her people briefed her. In every country is different. Like to sell Coca-Cola uh, in China, they had to change the name. How about that? They had to change the name so that they could sell Coca-Cola in China because they wouldn't buy Coca-Cola at all. So they changed the name and now it's being sold over there. You know what I mean? So wherever you go, you have to roll however the people in the continent roll, right? But no, her and her South African friends were talking about Black Americans because her latest album just sold 3.7, not 3.7, 3,700 copies. Yeah, under 4,000 copies. And so she's mad. And then they're expressing it on TikTok and all the social media branches. And the black people are going ham on her like, what? The moment you said this, yeah, okay, good. Yeah, you don't need us. All right, cool. We're good. And it's a lot of times we tried to save her. Remember at the award show, and then she was trying to get like another star to hold her thing. Like, who the hell are you? You brand Nubian. This your first song that did, and we only know that one song. We don't know no other song that she came out with. We don't know the album. Y'all don't know the album. Just that make me holler, which was fire. It was fire. So the thing is with that, when you're going to other countries, just know most people know you kind of roll with them. It's just like white people going over to Mexico. They say kick Mexicans out, right? But then they want to retire in Mexico. What? It makes no sense. It's a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense, but those are the things that really don't make sense at all. And then we got Stephen A. On one end, I'm proud that Stephen A. had an amazingly large contract, you know what I'm saying, for like a sports show host. I thought that was amazing. Never seen that before, you know. And then he received it, and then he became an asshole. Like the stuff he's doing with the WNBA is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Talking about it needs to be investigated. Why Caitlin Clark? For the record, I think Caitlin Clark is an amazing basketball player. Them keep pitting her and Reese against each other is sad. You know what I mean? Because Reese, both of them are like what 23 years old. Both of them are young, you know. But the thing is, what fuels it is their ethnicity. That's it. Almost all Caitlin's fans are MAGAs. See, this is what they do, right? Anything of the black and white nature, they always pick a side and then they run with it and make it the most racist thing ever when it wasn't. It's about two young women playing ball. It didn't matter their ethnicity, your skills. You know, and Angel came out, you know, this year, she's smoking. And Caitlin's not doing so well. You know what I mean? But it happens. It ain't nothing to say, oh, she's a terrible player. No, sometimes it happens. And maybe this is really getting to her. But what she really doesn't understand is that since you're put in this light, it's up to you to say this. Listen, while I appreciate you guys coming to all our games, you know, you got to understand there's a lot of other women that paved the way uh, for me to even be here, you know, and I'm grateful. However, I do not condone any racist behavior. She's never said that. She's probably never going to say it. Think about it though. She's from the Midwest. So you already know. And they found out some people in her family were racist, this, that, and the other. So she just probably rolling with it. But it doesn't make it right. You know, if that was me, and I know I can't speak for somebody else, but if it's me, I would be like, look, I appreciate you guys coming and all that, but I don't condone racism. And if you're talking about this person, you can't be a fan of me. That's how I would be. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, MAGA latches on to anything that's black and white. Just like the kid, Carmelo Anthony, fighting for his life now. So they want to give him life for something where he was attacked and it was self defense. And they made all these things up, and everybody said he got attacked. And it's crazy how in 2025, not one cell phone was out. Come on. I know what it is. Do you know? You probably do, but you're not going to say. And for the record, I could never be racist. One day, black people could be, but we won't. We're the most loving group of people you could ever want to meet. Yeah, we might have beef with each other from time to time. But when it comes to other people, we're the most loving. That's why when this one lady said to her son, if you ever get in trouble, find a black person. That's what they said. Find the black person, a black woman to be exact. That's what they said. So that's interesting to say the least. Anywho, um, we shouldn't go on race for anything. We really shouldn't, because there's really only one race, the human race, and that's it. So look, it's coming to that time where we got to go, go, go. So what I'm saying to you is, we all got to live on this earth, man. We really need to be kind with each other. But if we see something, we got to say something or do something, meaning pull out your phones or you know what I mean? Hey, ask questions when you see somebody get arrested, because a lot of times people have seen people get arrested and felt like they just deserved it, and they watched it to only later know that the person didn't make it. So there's a reason why they made that commercial. If you see something, say something, because I just told you it's only one race, and that's the human one. All right, now I still need you to get up. Yeah, you get up, get out, and baby, be kind to one another.